Hey there everyone, this is Michael Dougal, your Greater Toronto Area real estate resource, and I'm excited to present to you all the numbers that were reported for July 2024. We'd expect the market to improve at this point due to the couple of interest rate decreases that took place, but that hasn't been the case. As for this article over here, it reads that sales drop in July as buyers remain unmotivated. And further, we can see that Toronto area home prices drop in July as real estate listings pile up. And yes, I'm surprised to say home prices have finally fallen, because the story prior was the fact that it was the number of sales that were low, although real estate values were kept stable. But now we're starting to see the prices come down a little bit, and there's several reasons for that, which I'm going to elaborate more on. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and if you are considering buying or selling, make sure to call me. My customers get excellent service. And I want to draw your attention to this first chart over here, where we're taking a look at some of the really important numbers, such as number of sales, the average price, as well as days on market. And looking at the number of sales, it's around 5,400, which is slightly higher than what it was in July 2023. However, usually July sees about 7,000 sales or so, and our average number of sales at the end of the year reports being around 90,000. So I would say, looking at this number, we're experiencing about 20 to 30% less sales this year so far. But what's more of a talking point is the number of active listings. It is the highest it's been throughout the past decade, with the exception of the year of the pandemic, almost 24,000. And if we look at this chart over here, and we can see this is almost 2 times as many active listings that we had in March 2024. And we can see January 2024 had just about 10,000 active listings. So the question is, why are there so many active listings right now, especially in the summertime, when we know there's usually not as many buyers in the months of July and August? And the reason could be because of the fact that the interest rate decreases have taken place. So what I've noticed through my conversations with homeowners over the past years, they've said, Michael, we're going to wait for the rates to come down, and then we're going to list our property. We saw the rates come down in June. What happened? We had a record number of active listings come to the market. And now the same thing happened in July following another rate decrease. So everything's telling us we have a lot more sellers that are in the market. We don't have the buyers that have come back due to the rate cuts. And just that's reflected here in this information. We're looking at the red line representing months of inventory. That's how long it'll take the existing listing to supply to sell. And we can see the number is 4.43, the highest we've seen over the past year plus. And so this represents that it will take over 4 months for all the listings supply to sell, assuming that no new listings come to the market. And what this represents is more of a buyer's market that we've seen. And as a matter of fact, the sales to new listing ratio is now at almost 40%. So now we can say officially that the Toronto real estate market is a buyer's market. And looking at our average price, we can see the average price dropped slightly from June to July, although the average price has just dropped marginally if we compare it to July of last year. However, I'm actually really surprised to see this. I would have expected that the average price decrease was more significant. I'm not seeing that the average property is selling for what it was selling for about a year ago. And some of the listings which had sold last year, if you were to list those properties right now, I would guess that you would sell them for 5 to 10% less than what you could have gotten for the same properties a year ago. And so while the average price has come down just marginally, if we look at the figures like the benchmark average price and the median price, they've come down a little bit more considerably. And here's how the average price has changed across different property styles. So we can see detached, it's pretty insignificant. Comparing July 2023 to July 2024, detached homes are down by just 0.1%. Semis are down 3.3%, townhouse is down by 3.4%, and condo apartments down by only 2.2%. Although if we look at the 5-year historical average price and we compare the month of July through each year, we can see that 2020 to 2021, we saw the greatest price appreciation, and then the market somewhat stabilized. Now our average price, again, just slightly under what it was in July 2023. So in summary, we can see the sales numbers in July were low. The average price is down across all property styles. There's more inventory on the market, and homes are taking longer to sell. What are your thoughts about this market? I'd love to know in the comment section below. Do subscribe if you found the video informative. And if you are considering buying or selling, make sure to call me. And real estate agents, if there was ever a time where you needed great training, support, and an environment conducive to your success, it would be right now. So if you want to learn more about our network within eXp Realty, make sure to reach out to me. I thank you all for your support and look forward to seeing you next time.